Hello, good morning, students. Welcome to Vidya Setu, the YouTube channel of our school. Today, on this platform, we are going to study a new chapter from physics, electricity. In this chapter, today we are going to study about the types of electricity, potential difference, and Ohm's law. So, let's start our class. Dear students, electricity is a very important source of energy in modern times. Today we are totally dependent on electricity for our various needs, for transportation, for communication, all these things we totally depend on electricity. Now electric charges are of two types, positive charge and negative charge. We know that opposite charges they attract each other and similar charges, or we can say like charges, they repel each other. It means positive charge will repel positive charge, but it will attract negative charge. Now the SI unit of charge is coulomb. It is represented by capital C. Charge of a proton is, proton we know that it is positive charge, so it is equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to the power minus 19 coulomb. Whereas charge of electron, electrons are negatively charged. Both proton and electron they carry same amount of charge, but the it is with negative sign. So it is negative minus 1.6 into 10 raised to the power minus 19 coulomb. It is the charge of electron. Now, number of electrons in 1 coulomb of charge is equal to 6.25 into 10 raised power 18. Now, conductors are those substances through which electricity can easily flow. Okay, all metals are conductors. Now, those substances which do not allow the flow of electricity or the flow of current through them, they are known as insulators. For example, glass, glass rod, or we can say ebonite, rubber, plastic, wood. These all are examples of insulators. Now students, electricity is also of two types, static electricity and current electricity. In static electricity, the charges they remain at rest and they do not move. For example, when we rub a glass rod with a silk cloth, then the charge acquired by the glass rod is an example of static electricity. And the charge acquired by ebonite rod when it is rubbed with a woolen cloth. Also the lightning in the sky, it is also an example of static electricity. Now in current electricity, the electric charges they are in motion and thus they produce an electric current, because electric current is the flow of electric charges, and when the electric charges flow, that electricity is known as current electricity. It is the electricity which we use in our homes. Now electric potential at a point in an electric field is defined as the work done in moving a charge, unit positive charge, from infinity to that point. Okay, and it is denoted by V. Its SI unit is volt. Now potential difference, it is the amount of work done in moving a unit positive charge from one point to another in an electric field. In an electric field, if we are moving a unit positive charge from one point to another point, then the amount of work done would be the potential difference. So potential difference is equal to work done divided by the quantity of charge moved. So students, V is equals to W upon Q, because the charge is represented by Q, denoted by capital letter Q. Now 1 volt is the SI unit of potential difference, is equal to 1 joule. 1 joule is the SI unit of work and coulomb is the SI unit of charge. So 1 volt is equals to 1 joule upon 1 coulomb. Potential difference is measured by an instrument which is known as voltmeter, and a voltmeter has a high resistance so that it takes no current from the electric circuit to which it is connected. Now, electric current is the flow of electric charges, or we can say electrons, in a conductor. So, current is represented by I, and it is equal to Q divided by T. Q is the charge and T is the time. So, how much amount of charge is moving in a given amount of time, it is known as the current. The SI unit of current is ampere, and electric current is measured by an instrument known as ammeter. So 1 ampere is the amount of current produced when 1 coulomb of charge flows through any cross section of a conductor in 1 second. So if 1 coulomb of charge is flowing in 1 second through a conductor, it is known as, the amount of current is known as 1 ampere. So 1 ampere is equal to 1 coulomb divided by 1 second. Now one more unit of current is used, milliampere, which is a smaller unit than ampere. So 1 milliampere is equals to 10 raised power minus 3 ampere. Alright, and an ammeter have a low resistance, whereas a voltmeter has a high resistance. Now we will study one question. How can we get a continuous flow of electric current? So by connecting the conductor between the terminals of a cell or battery, we can obtain a continuous flow of electric current. Now direction of electric current has two direction, conventional direction, which is from positive to negative terminal, but the actual flow of electrons takes place from negative to positive terminal. Electric circuits, it is a continuous path, or we can say continuous conducting path along which an electric current flows. Now students, we will study the Ohm's law. So Ohm's law is the law which provides us a relationship between the voltage, or we can say potential difference, and current produced in a conductor. So according to this law, at constant temperature, the current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across its ends. So potential difference, it is directly proportional to the current produced, or we can say current produced is directly proportional to the potential difference, but at constant temperature. So V is equals to IR. When the sign of this proportionality will be removed, a constant will have to be placed here. So this constant is R, and it is known as the resistance of a conductor. So from here we can obtain the resistance is equals to potential difference divided by the current. So if we plot a graph between the potential difference, taking it on x-axis, and current produced on y-axis, then we will obtain a straight line graph, because if we are increasing the potential difference, current is also increasing. If we are decreasing the potential difference, current is also decreasing. So we can obtain I from here, like I is equals to current produced is equals to V upon R. Now here we can easily see that current produced is directly proportional to the potential difference. So if we increase the potential difference, if we double the potential difference, then current will be double, and if we half the potential difference, then current will also get halved. Now here current is inversely proportional to the resistance of the conductor. So if the resistance of conductor is doubled, then current reduces to half, and if the resistance is halved, then current produced will be doubled. So students, this was the Ohm's law. This was all about today's class. See you in the next class with the new topic from this chapter. Thank you for watching.